I guess that it's only appropriate to start a new week with our homebodies here. See if I can get that to go out all the way. I got a new iPhone 17 that I'll be getting pretty quickly. And it's a nice, big, beautiful buck out there this morning. He hears me talking, looking over here at me, saying, I know that's my buddy over there. That's a pretty nice buck. He's not a giant buck. He's a pretty nice buck. He comes around a lot now. Totally wild deer. Look back over that shoulder, just frozen like a statue. Got very, very heavy horns, antlers. I think he is a 8-point, 9-point, 10-point, something like that. Got a brow tine broken off, looks like, as you can see right there. But he's beautiful. Of course, red tag and her baby from this year and her baby from last year. We see her little buck baby around quite a bit as well. He's not out there this morning. He's probably around chasing a doe. It's not him. He's not nearly that large. But he's also an 8-point. Really, really nice. But that's a great way to start 2026. Happy New Year, everyone. I hope that 2026 is your best year ever. A lot of that depends on how you make it. You can make it your best year ever with your attitude, with your feelings, with the way you treat other people, and honestly, the way you worship God. If you get God involved in your life and everything that you're doing, I promise you 2026 will be a better year, no matter what the circumstances bring about. And there could be a lot of bad things happen. There will be a lot of bad things happen in 2026. But we know that a Christian is victorious in the end, conquering even death. And there'll be a lot of people that are here to see January 26th come in that will not be able to see the year finish. Just lost a very dear friend, Greg Biffle, one of my fishing buddies, a great NASCAR driver, and a good man. And I always think about why does bad things happen to good people? And Greg, killed with his wife and kids, a tremendously tragic accident. And I've been watching videos for the last several days of Greg and his family, and shedding a lot of tears because of him. And didn't spend an awful lot of time with Greg, but what time I spent with him was wonderful. A few days fishing, having a good time, eating dinner and lunch together and breakfast together, and just playing games together, having a great time. And during the hurricane that tore up North Carolina, Greg flew his personal private helicopter at his own expense and rescued people that were stranded. He carried communications and food and help and phone service and all kinds of things into some of those people that were stranded in those mountains in North Carolina. And not only that, did he use his own helicopter and his own expense money. It cost quite a bit to fly a helicopter. But he also put together a band of other helicopters and friends of his that owned helicopters, and they helped also. And so they had several of them helping rescue people and help provide food and necessities to folks that were stranded in those mountains after that hurricane. It wiped out so many of the roads where people couldn't even get out of to get anything. And I don't know, you just always wonder why did bad things happen to good people. But we know that we're victorious in the end. By the time I get to heaven, Greg Biffle will have scoped out all the good fishing holes I know, and he'll probably go show me how to catch a big fish. But he's ran his race here on Earth, and he did it in very fine fashion. Now he's preparing for racing through thousands of years of eternity in heaven with his family. So go to heaven with your family is tough on the ones that are left behind, but we'll all be together one glorious day. And that big boy right there coming into the prayer circle, probably going to say a prayer for my buddy Greg Biffle, Christina, and the kids. Well, Chris and I are back at the ranch, and we have a pretty good batch of babies hanging around. Nice buck right there. I'm out there a little further. Pretty good bunch of mamas and babies there. Some other bucks walking around. things across the road that they're looking at and wondering what's going on. Looks like that only one buck out there this morning, though. I'm zoomed all the way out. I can't go any further out. I got my new iPhone 17. I still got my 13 that's just battered and worn like its owner. I wish I could get a new body just like you get a new iPhone. Wouldn't that be cool? We'll get a new body one day. Not on this earth we won't, though. We just have to keep using this old worn out one until it completely wears out. It's like an old car or a tire or an old boat or something, whatever. You just keep using it till you wear it out. Red Tag and her family still staying together. Just absolutely gorgeous. That little buck she had this year is just beautiful. Look at those nubbins on him. Look how stocky he is and everything. He's going to be a beauty. He's going to be a beauty, no doubt about it. But it looks pretty nice out there. Warm, warm weather, setting records every day, but the bottom's about to fall out of it. The bottom is about to fall out. But that looks pretty nice out there, really good to see. I don't know how much deer pictures we'll see. If we get a chance, Chris and I might go riding today. It's so warm out there. We got a big bad cold front coming in, which is probably, we just got the last warm day or two of the winter. That's a beautiful buck. That's Red Tag's baby from last year. He's made it through the rut just fine, and that's absolutely fantastic that he did. Yes, sir. He's going after that alfalfa. We got some alfalfa for the deer. I'll let you take a look at that here in a little bit. We'll go look at the alfalfa. The deer that are on the outside, they just go help themselves. They love that alfalfa. I guess that buck went on wherever he was back there. All right. The sun is really bad, but that is a beautiful bald eagle right there. The new, look at him. My new iPhone 17, I've got it in my pocket. I need to get all these videos on the same phone, put them together, load them up. But that, in fact, let me grab that out and shoot a little bit of him. See how close I can get to him there. He was at a tree closer. He was at the tree down there by the boat dock. He was really close a few minutes ago. He come up and flew over to that tree right there. I keep saying he. Could be a he or a she. Both the male and the female look alike in adult bald eagles. The male's larger, and that's sort of a small one, so bald eagles are not nearly as large as golden eagles, but the sun's killing me right there. But I will, let me just grab my iPhone and see how it works. My new one. Let's see how we can zoom in on that rascal. Okay, I got it. I don't know how long it's going to stay clear. But I got it clear, and I can actually zoom a little bit more. Boy, it's hard to hold it steady when you zoom out. Oh my gosh. Now the zoom was a mistake. The zoom was definitely a mistake. It zoomed out at 12.8 right there. The sun is just killing me. And obviously it's hard to hold steady. It zoomed out all the way, 24 power. Pretty nice, huh? Pretty nice. And we're keeping it relatively steady, not probably getting too dizzy watching it. But I don't think that's a girl. It's just gotta be a girl. She's too pretty to be a boy. Gotta be a pretty girl right there. Almost looked like she had something in her beak. I don't think so, because she's been sitting there quite a while. She's looking around. Quite a treat right there. Yes, it is. Look at that big boy. It is 83 degrees the week after Christmas. And look at that. Oh, boy, the only thing about this big zoom, this thing needs to be on a tripod about all the time. Look at that big, pretty thing. No tags, so he's born totally in the wild. Looks like a 10-point. Looks like a couple brow tines are broken. Peeking around that tree. I think Benelli walked out there and scared him. We were gone 4 or 5 days over with the kids for Christmas, and so the deer didn't see any activity around the house here except for Apache coming by a couple of times a day. And mostly, we check the cameras a lot. There's a big, pretty boy right there. That's walking away perfectly, isn't it? That thing's up, zoomed up to 24. That's pretty good, isn't it? Only problem is I can't hold it steady. But that's nice. That's why I got the phone for. It's got better cameras on it. I just got to figure out a microphone now to plug into it, particularly with this otter case on it. That is so gorgeous. Lots of hunters would have loved to see that walk by them this year. A lot of you did, I'm sure. And bigger than that, in fact. Way bigger than that. Some of them, I've been seeing a lot of really nice pictures. I know Jordan and Stormy both got one bigger than that right here. But that young man will be big, quite a bit bigger next year. And the following year, even better. Boys will be boys. And that's exactly what those two are doing out there this morning. Beautiful, dead calm. Just about to use up 2025. 2025 is just about history. And those guys right there are getting after it pretty good. They are getting after it pretty good. Yes, they are. Look at that lake out there, will you? When I said that biggest buck just stopped and looked at the lake. The little guy is maybe red tags, maybe, from last year. He's a pretty good fighter to be so small. Look at the size of him. He's not small for his age. He's just not very old. That's a pretty nice buck that he's messing around with there. He's getting his fanny whipped a little bit. He's definitely learning. Definitely learning. I think the wind's going to be blowing this morning, but not doing anything now. That's a pretty good battle going on right there. The boys are feeling their oats this morning. There's no doubt about that. I can remember when my oats felt that good too. Oh, mercy, look at them get after it. Careful, boys, you put an eye out. It's just like two brothers. They could be brothers. That's possible. Yes, it is. Yeah, take a look at that picture out there this morning. Take a look at that picture. Birds getting off the water on the other side. Turn that way and the sun just about takes your picture away from you. Have to turn where you're not. The sun messes up everything. Those guys are still getting after it. Look at that reflection on the mountain. Dead calm. I mean, not a ripple. Only ripple is a water turkey or a duck or something. And the boys are still fighting big time. Well, they're getting after it, aren't they? Look at that. That little guy's holding his own pretty good. Strengthening their neck muscles when they're doing that. When they're in their rut, their neck swells up, gets real big. It's in the muscles big. I guess they've had all the fun they're going to have. That's a really nice buck. Their hocks are still real dark. So they would still participate if they can find a willing female. Those boys could be brothers. Absolutely could be. And they're still going to get it on. That's actually another little buck right there. So that's 3 bucks together. The other one he's interested in eating. He's not got much in the way of antlers. His very first antlers, for sure. There's not much there. These 2 boys here are saying this is the way it's done. We're about to use up 2025. It's going to be 83 degrees today. It was 81 yesterday. 81. As we get down to the last few days. 2025, Chris and I have an anniversary coming up. The 30th. 62 years of her putting up with me. And a little guy, he goes, hey guys, hey guys, hey guys. You're disturbing my breakfast. He don't even care. He doesn't even care. They've been fighting for over 5 minutes. They're enjoying it. I guess. They seem to be. My. 2 bucks fighting on one side of the house. We don't know if that's the front yard or the backyard. This is the yard, this is the part that got the driveway, so I guess this would be the front yard. The backyard would be where the lake is. We don't know what to call the front and the back. But anyway, over here we have a pile of turkeys. I'm talking about a pile of wild turkey. I can't hold this thing very steady. I get zooming out there to 10, 15, 20 power. It's amazing. I have it on a tripod. It's sure going to be fun, especially in the deer stand. I might try to go do that sometime in the next week or 2. We'll be around quite a bit early January before my appearances start. Big, beautiful bunch of wild turkey. Jimmy, you make people drunk watching you try to film at 17 power. 17 power. Back off a little bit to about 6 power. Sure changes. Maybe when I was younger, I might be really steady. At this point in the game, zoom way on out there like that. It zooms pretty nice though. Zoom way on out there. I need to lean up against a tree or something. Those guys are way out there though. That's 24 zoom. Zooming in pretty good. Has a hard time focusing, especially shooting through a window like I am. Definitely a hard time holding it steady. That's why it's difficult to make long-range shots without a tripod or a tree or something to lean against. You can see from that right there how difficult it is to hold crosshairs on an exact target the size of less than a dime. Kind of like the size of a pinhead sometimes. You see, we're a long way from those critters. A long way. I'd say a long way. That's 100 yards out there. Y'all have to forgive me for playing with my new iPhone. But having a zoom, they'll zoom out to 24. It's wild. I should be able to read the writing on my truck. That turkey's going over there reading it. See him sticking his neck out reading it. Can you read Jimmy Houston on the side of that truck? Yep, sure can. That's only out to 19. Crazy. Whoop. My camera guys are saying, Jimmy, you have no clue what you're doing. And I say, amen. and I sure have fun. We all love water. We all need water. We all have to have water to live. And as the turkeys and the squirrels head out toward the backyard, we'll call it, where the lake is, they're picking up a little breakfast along the way. All this warm weather we had in the 80s. It'll be another record day today. When you think about 3 out of the last 4 days, we have had record-setting high temperatures, record-setting low high temperatures, high lows, not low lows, record-setting high temperatures in the 80s, 3 out of the last 4 days. Now, the other day was like 76 or 78, something like that. You're talking about some of the, I think one of them went back to 1898 or something. I think today the record we're breaking is 2008, which is not even 20 years ago. And I know with all this warm weather in December, people holler, global warming, global warming. We'll take global warming in December. In the book of Revelations, if you read it, God will destroy the earth one day, and he will destroy the earth by fire. By fire. So the sun will actually melt away what we are looking at today. Those of us that have put our faith, our trust, our hope in the Lord Jesus Christ will move on to a much better world. I think, how can it get any better than this? Well, it's a mighty God that I serve. He created this in 6 days. And since Jesus has gone back to heaven, 2,500 years, 2,000 years, 2,025 years, 2,000 years, not quite 2,000 years. So what has he created in heaven? Because when he left, he said, I go to prepare a place for you. Aren't those turkeys great? I look at what he's prepared for me and you and all the rest of us here on earth, and I think, what in the world? What in the world is next? God calls it heaven. God calls it heaven. You and I will probably call heaven paradise.